Hello and welcome to the GraySpace podcast. I'm Gray. This is my space, and I don't honestly, I could and maybe I should just check real quick and see what episode number this is because I lost count a while ago. I'm gonna say no, there's no way it's episode 21 yet. I don't know why that number came into my head, but I do know that it's the first episode in a while where I am solo because Nico is not here. Her handler is not here today at the studio. She is back at her actual job. So Nico's lifeless body is just over by the desk. And if you, hey, no. Bro, why are you guys... Zero, one of my cats, Zero, is being, oh my God, such a menace. He broke into the bathroom. Oh, and now Nobu's over here because I'm holding this. They broke into the bathroom cabinet that has like random pet supplies in it. They stole this bag. They ripped it open. And now Nobu is sitting right here in his cone, begging for an almost empty bag of treats. And now I'm off my train of thought because the cats, guys, have been wilding the past week. It's a little bit of a lot. And I'm not going to be like complaining this whole podcast episode because I don't want to do that. But I wanted to do just like a chill chit chat solo video. And part of that is like catching up with you guys. And I can't do that if I'm not honest about the fact that I have mentally not been great the past like few weeks or so. I don't know, the summer depression or end of summer depression transition period. I don't know what it is, what's in the air, what's in the cosmos or something, but it has been just a rough past few weeks, like in random ways and non-random ways. Like, it doesn't surprise me that I have felt depressed, you know, summer bummer, whatever. I have, diagnosed depression that I'm on meds for. Obviously, sometimes I'm going to feel depressed. But also, like, I feel like for the past few months, but particularly maybe within the past few weeks, or maybe that's just like mentally I've been feeling it more the past few weeks, but like, bro, me and my girlfriend, Lexi, we are so very convinced that someone has put a curse on us. The universe is like trying to tell us something is up, because we've been having car problems out the fucking ass and they keep getting worse. Okay. So if you are a follower and a listener watcher of the channel, you know that just this year, in like a 2 or 3 month period, both of our cars were totaled in 2 separate accidents, which was really cool. And, no, it wasn't. It was pretty fucking terrible, actually. I was disabled for a little bit. I was on crutches for a little bit because of it. And I'm still traumatized. And I hate driving cars. And I avoid it at all costs. But anyway, so that happened. We both had our cars totaled because of accidents. I did not have a paid off vehicle. So most of the money from that accident went to paying off the vehicle. And now I don't have a car. And I'm fine with that because I don't want one. I don't want to drive. I drive literally only when I absolutely have to. And so my girlfriend Lexi, her car, which was totaled, was paid off and actually she got a good bit of money for like the car that it was. I want to say she got like 6,000 or 7,000 from the accident, which is pretty nice because we're not sure that car was worth that much. So anyway, she got another used car, fully paid it off. And we've been realizing more and more is that I'm not like saying, oh, she picked the wrong car in like an accusative way. I'm saying it in a joking way because she worded it this way herself. Sorry, the camera and mic stand is like leaning because of the weight. Hold on. But I say that Lexi thinks that she might have just gotten the wrong fucking car and we're having to learn the hard way because, guys, we're having car problems with this car. And they've been getting progressively worse and we don't We want to get rid of it. We don't know what we're going to do. We fucking hate having cars. We hate living in a place where we have to have cars. But basically, Lexi, my beautiful, amazing, wonderful girlfriend, her car is a 2009 Toyota Prius that has been modified to where it is, in parts, I should say, functionally better than the average 2009 Toyota Prius. It's got like a back camera. It has like random modifications. So it's not like a great car, but we thought it was a pretty good car whenever we were looking for her to get a new car. And we knew the AC wasn't great, but then it got worse. And then everyone that we've tried to ask for help about the AC keeps trying to fuck us over and overcharge us to fix all of these things with the car. The car itself, I think, costs $8K or $8.5K. And so we absolutely don't want to have to spend about half of that just to repair parts of the car. You know, because the AC has like a bunch of things that are wrong with it. And we've been told, like, you just got to drop fucking $3,000 and replace your whole AC unit. And we were like, oh, well, no, we're not going to do that because we need that money for our cat's surgery. And also, that's a lot of fucking money. And also, the dealership that we got the car from promised that they would go halvesies if they repaired it. And then the guy that told us that and the guy that sold the car to Lexi left that car. Is there some? No, it's just the weird shadow. I was like, is there something on my face? It's the mic shadow. Sorry. But then the guy that gave us the deal with the car and like said that they were going to help us moved, and he doesn't work there anymore. And now they're not upholding their promise, which, to be fair, like, it was just like a verbal promise, so they don't have to agree to that. But you guys sold us a shit fucking car, and it's kind of sucky because, okay, so me just like ranting about car shit. I will talk about something else that's probably more interesting to some of you in a minute, okay? But the thing about Priuses is that they're hybrid cars. So they have a partial engine and a partial battery that work together. It's not a fully electric vehicle. It still needs gas, but it's partially hybrid so that it doesn't need as much gas and it is more like fuel economic, like it's better on gas or whatever. The thing with that is that means it has the car engine, and then it also has a car battery. All cars have car batteries, but electric batteries are different from like a standard car battery. So what we've been realizing with this new car, in the progressively worsening, thinning ozone and the ever heating temperatures, because we live in Texas, what we have had to find out through the car dying randomly multiple times is that these little electronic batteries do really bad in heat. And the car has messed up AC, and so it already has trouble regulating its temperature. So sometimes the car just keeps fucking dying. And there's kind of not really anything we can do about that, because we don't know what to do about that. We got Nobu, one of our cats, his eye surgery last week. That cost, good bit of money, which thankfully we have pet insurance and we're going to be getting some of that back. We haven't yet. So we don't know what we're going to do with that money, basically. Whenever we get it back, we don't know if we're going to put it into the car or into savings, because we're working on our savings because we're planning a very big, scary move. A lot of things are happening right now. And it's like I feel like all of my thoughts are disconjointed. And honestly, if Nico / her handler is your preferred podcast host, I don't even fucking blame you, because she's my preferred podcast host. Because this is what happens when you just sit me in front of a mic, is I just spill all of the thoughts out of my brain. But my brain isn't really like, it's definitely not a normal person's, and that's not a flex. I'm suffering. So sometimes I don't sound eloquent or understandable. And that's just how that is. Basically, dude, being in your 20s is like cool, but fucking also it just sucks, because it's like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like there's a weird, at least in my experience, going from like late teen to young adult, and I'm still a young adult, but I'm closer to 24 now, so I'm like less of a young adult, but I'm still a young adult. I'm not calling myself old or anything, but like, life is just weird when you are like a teenager. And obviously I'm speaking generally, so this won't be relatable to every single person listening. And I'm sorry that I can't appeal to every single person in the world. Because every single person in the world is listening to the GraySpace podcast. Yeah, totally. What the fuck? When you're a teenager, you know, you have like more agency than when you're a kid, but you still have school. You still have parents. You probably maybe have a part-time job. You maybe pay for like your car payment and or your phone payment and or like some sort of responsibilities, adult-like responsibilities. And then you go to like being 18 and being like, now you're actually an adult, which now that I am actually an adult, and there are still going to be people that argue that 23 isn't even a real fucking adult yet. But like looking back, looking at where I am now, and then having to look at an 18-year-old, or like thinking about looking at an 18-year-old and being like, you're an adult. Like, this is it. I don't know how to explain it. Being like your first few years as an adult, when you're still like a teenager, it's so whack that we count that as adulthood, because no, it's not. And I don't know. I feel like recently I'm just starting to get into the swing of like, this is adult life. And I feel I'm trying so hard to find the best way to word this, because I don't want it to sound like I'm just now realizing that like life is hard, because oh my God, that's not what I'm fucking saying. That's not what I'm saying. And that's not what I mean. I just am trying to find like the specific description of the feeling of this experience of like being in your young 20s and like kind of having it figured out, but also like it still just kind of sucks. And you kind of just have to deal with that. And it's like, it's not better. It's not worse. It's just like different, you know? It's just different. Hey, life-changing revelation that nobody's ever said before. But guys, you know when you get older, things change. Me discovering things change with time. I think I'm just kind of getting in my head about aging. I've been working on unlearning societal inputs in my brain. So like a big one I've been working on recently is random patriarchal norms, which I will talk about in a little bit, because I have a little segment of this video where I talk about like recent things I've been into. But another thing I've been trying to unlearn is like, I don't know if it counts as ageism, but like my personal fear of aging. And I don't really know why, because when I say it out loud, it is silly. It's silly. And especially because I have been doing more nonfiction reading, and I've been particularly in a feminist literature spurt recently. And so I'm realizing that like just how much of the world and like all of this stupid shit comes down to like a man decided this was going to happen, you know? Because like ageism has like a big part of it, in my opinion, from what I've been realizing through reading and experience, is that it's, at least in a woman's view, woman's world or whatever, ageism is impacted by patriarchal standards of women and their appearances. And so I've been kind of I've been like talking through myself mentally of like, I'm turning 24 in a few months, and I don't know why I feel so weird about that, because 24 is not old. Like, I don't think 24 is old, but I don't know. For some reason, thinking about the fact that I'm going to have to say that I'm 24 is like giving me a weird mental thing. So I've been trying to fucking unlearn that recently, and like start to be okay with aging. And in general, I am, but this is where this whole rambling starts to get to the point I was making. Something I have been realizing with that recently is that I, as a person, have like, obviously I've changed over my life as an adult, but like as I get more settled into adulthood, I'm not realizing that I'm like my mother. But in weird ways, I'm starting to see my mom in me, and it's freaking me out. And I don't know if anyone has been on the wavelength that I've been on for the past however fucking long. I've been rambling. I don't know if what I said just made sense. I've been in my head a lot, okay? As you could tell by the video title and episode title, that's depresso, because I've just been in weird mental pains recently. I think I need to talk to my psychiatrist. I think I need to up my meds, because I don't think they've been helping recently. I think my anxiety's been getting worse. I do think it's the shift in seasons. You know, we're about to be like, my girlfriend is back into her work schedule as a teacher. And so it's kind of a big shift between her and I getting to spend every day, every waking moment almost together for the past like 2 or 3 months, to now I'm alone with my own thoughts for most of the time. I don't know. I've been pondering. It's the curse of being the thought daughter, but THOUGHT daughter. I've just been feeling like weird. I don't know how to explain it. And I want someone to be like, oh my God, I know exactly what you're talking about, because I didn't watch the full thing, because I don't know why I didn't. But I just straight up, I fucking didn't watch the full video. But I saw a TikTok recently of someone who's really into astrology talking about how a lot of women have been talking about and or talking to that video creator about feeling like just really off and weird, and feeling like life is at a very weird point. And to be fair, outside of the fucking cosmos, just in day-to-day life right now, oh my God, yeah, life is really weird. Life is really fucking not great, just in the general state of the world at the moment. But I do think there's probably some other like spiritual explanations as well. So I'm trying like not to drive myself crazy by like overthinking my thinking and convincing myself I'm crazy. So that is that. So basically, long ass fucking story short, has anyone else been losing their mind a little bit recently? Or is it just me? Because I feel like I've been losing my mind a little bit. I think it is my meds, to be fair, because I've been also feeling recently like I go through periods where I beat myself up more than usual for things. And this is going to tie back into the unlearning societal things, because something I keep trying and like failing on is unlearning personal value and its association with capitalist productivity. So this is all such fucking word vomit, but I know that the other brain rotted word vomiters out there are drinking up my word vomit, and they know what I'm saying. Okay. So anyway, I am on medication for my anxiety and depression. I'm not on medication for ADHD, which I also have. So I will bounce around a lot, and I always I want to do a lot, but the things I want to do they're not lucrative things. You know, I want to draw, I want to screen print, I want to edit videos, I want to paint, I want to do all of the things I enjoy doing. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm kind of getting into my brain with my productivity and completion of these tasks, because I just have the mental tendency to bounce from thing to thing. And so I have a lot of like unfinished shit. A lot of my stuff is like random unfinished videos, paint unfinished canvases fucking everywhere. I'll leave a lot of things unfinished because I bounce from thing to thing all the time. Because of that, I will get into like periods sometimes where I think of that really fucking negatively because I'm like, you don't have anything to show for. You don't have anything completed. You're not doing anything productive. You're not adding anything. And I hate that. I hate that mentality. But it's when I don't know why. I think it's maybe also partially because I'm a Capricorn and from, you know, a lower class family and the oldest child of that lower class family. I don't know. There are a bunch of internal things in here that make it really hard for me to be forgiving if I'm not always like grinding or like feeling like I'm accomplishing something. And that will tie into like, you know, the occasional depressive episode or possible PMDD, which I would like to, I want answers on that. This is literally the Grayson's World's inner monologue. Someone diagnosed me with something episode. I'm literally just talking out of my fucking brain. And I don't know if that's a good idea. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, man, this is not the video for you. I'm sorry. But I have been thinking, and several of you guys have been thinking, based on the way I've spoken about my menstrual cycle, and particularly the time period leading up to my menstrual cycle, I think I have PMDD, premenstrual dysphoric something disorder that basically is just like PMSing, but drastically worse, unfortunately. And so that will pair in with like my beating myself up about my productivity thoughts. And that's what's been going on recently because I started my period yesterday. So that is why the past few weeks, I feel like I've been losing my fucking mind. Is because a lot has been happening internally, externally, in my control, out of my control. And I'm realizing that that's just how life is. And I'm realizing I have to be fine with that. And for the most part, I am, to be honest. I don't want this to sound like I'm crying about how shitty my life is, because it's not. Day to day, I do quite like my life. I love my pets. I love my girlfriend. I do like my apartment, even though it has its problems. But, dude, being an adult is just accepting that, like, yeah, sometimes this is shitty. A lot of the times this is shitty, and we just have to make the best out of it. And that's something I've been dealing with recently. Along with other things, Nobu having his surgery was another add-on to why I've been losing my mind. Because Nobu, I need to edit the vlog from this. This was last week, a week ago, today, actually. Nobu had surgery on all 4 of his eyelids, and he has had to be under surveillance, basically, to make sure he doesn't mess with the stitches on his eyelids because they'll, you know, get messed up. The only issue with that is that Nobu, if you're unfamiliar, is a fucking monster gremlin who holds me hostage. I'm scared. That's a stretch. But, like, he is extremely playful, extremely hyper, like, bratty, demanding. Like, this cat, I have to walk my cat. Guys, I have to walk my cat. He screams at the front door, crying for walks. He crawls up. I'm pretty sure at the beginning of this vlog, he was up there. He will climb bookshelves in the middle of the night. Like, he is horrible. So genuinely, the first 2 nights after his surgery, me and my girlfriend did not sleep. I think we slept a total, the first night combined, we probably slept like 4 hours because we had to, he is on all these different meds with the different timings. And also we have to watch him. And oh my God, he was being so fucking hyper. like which I get because the surgery he got was to help his eyes open better because his eyelids were like messed up and they were irritating his eyes and his eyesight. So it is beneficial. Obviously, that's why we got the surgery. But it drastically improved his eyesight because beforehand he was just like this all the time. And if you can't see what this is because you're not watching on YouTube, I'm just like squinting my eyes really hard. And that's how he like always lived. So now he got to come home with his eyes opened. Literally, he was awakened. I awakened my cat. And he just had to relearn all of our house, basically. So he like would climb things just fucking for the reason, just for the sake of it, just getting all up in his water to stare at it because he's never like he has a little like water fountain because he's never seen it move like that before. So he wasn't like he was not a helpful, easy patient. And that was not fun. But things are getting better. I think, sort of. Not really. We're just kind of dealing with it better. We're currently at the point where neither of us are like I'm finally, now that my period has started, I'm feeling a bit better, you know, and Lexi's feeling better. But we're at the period where like life, we just have to be like, yeah, this is a bit shitty and not where we want to be, but that's fine. We're going to hang out. And so that's that me espresso. I keep saying despresso. Depresso. Is the joke even that funny? I don't think the joke's that funny. But we're making the most of it, truly. I really don't want this to seem like a cry for help because it's not like meant to be, but sometimes it is good to just get this out to someone who hasn't heard it yet. Because obviously me and Lexi talk to each other about life and our feelings and all that stuff, but we're always on the same page. And we know more than anyone else what we and the other person is like going through. So obviously when we talk about this stuff, it's like, yeah, like I know, or it doesn't sound like that, but it's kind of nice to just talk into a void about it to someone who doesn't like, can't just be like, bro, I know, right? You know, because you've been like complaining about it with this other person who's been going through it with you. So I'm not like coming on to here and being like, guys, my life is miserable. Please help me. I am okay. We are okay. Life is just weird. And sometimes it makes you lose your brain a bit. And that's what it was doing. And I wanted to complain about it and get it off my chest in like a different way, I guess. So that was that. And so I want to switch it up onto a more positive note real quick. One of my like earlier GraySpace episodes was me talking about my current like interests. And I have brought that back. I have a few things I would like to talk about that are just different, that are not me complaining about things I have fucking little to no control over, because I don't know how fun that is. I know it's nice, like, for me at least, when I hear people talking about random life struggles, because it's nice to know, like, not necessarily that there are times where I like catastrophize things. That's not really what I'm saying, but it's nice when you're struggling. That sounds bad. It's nice when you're going through it to be reminded, like, oh yeah, like in retrospect, man, it could be worse, and I'm not the only one feeling this thing and going through it, you know? So maybe you liked that rambling, or maybe it annoyed the fuck out of you. I don't know why you listened to the whole thing then. But I know some people watch my videos intentionally because they don't like me, and that's fine. I just have to live with that. I've accepted that. I think it's weird, but whatever. Anyway, here are some things I've been like into recently. Firstly is Elita, the musician. Her name is spelled Elita. She I just like discovered her recently, because I've been listening to, there's like a setting on Spotify where it's like, oh, it's called Smart Shuffle. So in addition to like shuffling a playlist, Spotify will add recommendations to that playlist. Like it'll play songs that it thinks the playlist, what? Whenever you're listening to a Spotify playlist on Smart Shuffle, Spotify will play songs that aren't in that playlist, but the Spotify algorithm thinks you will like it based on that playlist. So I found her through one of my, I think I was listening to like Poppy or like I've been trying to find more female or like women rock alternative grunge artists. So Alita, I have found recently, and I have been really into her music, and I want to listen to more of it. That is that. I also want to get more into Ethel Cain, but that's just a general thing. Next, I don't know. This is more of a mental obsession than something I've been actively doing because I've actually been stopping myself from actively doing this. But something I have been really into recently is interior minimalism. Because, as I mentioned, Lexi and I are planning a very big move that we are not talking about literally to anyone. Very, very, very few people know where we're going or that we're moving at all. I think at this point in time, one person that's not Lexi and me knows. So a part of that move is it's not happening like soon, but we're wanting to downsize our apartment, not the space because we live in a 1 bedroom. I don't want to downsize the space, but like the shit in it. We want to downsize our clutter and stuff basically to make this move as easy and inexpensive as it will be, as it can be. It's going to be a pain in the ass and expensive, and that's fine. That's why we don't want to make it any harder. So I've been looking around the apartment of like, I don't know if we're going to bring that. I don't need to bring that. I don't need to bring that. Maybe we're going to bring that. I've been doing that. And so it's been making me look at all of the things in the apartment and I think I've given myself the overconsumption ick because I'm not an overconsumer at this point in time. But man, I definitely was. I have a collector's mentality, and I've talked about like whenever I got my rise on YouTube, where I was like the Grayson Projects era, whatever, where I was like firstly popping off and getting some internet relevancy and the money from it that I had never seen before. So I have a lot of collections of things I don't need, and I'm realizing like it's kind of irritating because I like my stuff, but I'm also like I'm gonna have to overlook that, and I'm gonna have to get rid of this stuff, and I want this move to happen more than I want the stuff. So because of that, I have been preemptively like I've been holding myself back from just getting rid of things because I'm like, we have like a year to 2 years before this move is happening. I don't need to just start throwing things away. And I'm not going to do that. Some things are going to be thrown away, but like we're going to donate or sell or do all the random thingy-madoos. Oh, hi, Nobu. Please don't rub on the tripod. But yeah, I've just been really into the idea of looking around the apartment and there not being shit everywhere. But that is just like a symptom of the disease that is me as a human being. I love stuff. I have a bunch of stuff. And I have a lot of hobbies that require a lot of materials. And so does Lexi. So we have a lot of stuff. And that's just how that is. But we want to temporarily not have a lot of stuff, at least for that move. So, Nobu, come here. Stop rubbing on the tripod. I think breakfast time is soon. He's begging. What time is it? Oh, it's past breakfast time. I'm evil. I'm sorry, baby. Here, I will go through the list and then I will call it an episode so I can feed the gremlins because gremlin is in fact gremlining. Next thing I've been really into recently is tall boots and or tall socks. So I'm very tall. I mention this every few months because every few months someone sees like my full body next to a doorway or something and they're like, oh my God. I'm 6 foot-ish, I think. So yes, I'm very tall. And a lot of that is leg. I'm leggy. I got a lot of leg. And so I've just kind of realized recently that I really like the look of longer things on my longer legs. Imagine that. That's just something I've been realizing, like in outfit balancing. I've been into that, like visually, I've just been into it, and also like comfortably, I like it more. Another thing that I have been really into recently that I think I'm going to be into forever, like I really don't see myself going back from this point, is no shaving. And guys, yeah, no shaving, that means everywhere. And I kind of fucking love it. And now that I've stopped shaving, like I haven't shaved my armpits really for the most part for a while. But I recently, I think a few weeks ago, maybe a little less than that, I decided like, this is something I'm actively choosing to do and I like it and I don't want to go back to shaving. And then now that like I look back on it and I'm like, why did I do that? And I do get why. Like I still have some back and forth with myself of like, your toes look gross with hair on them. Bitch, no, they don't. Firstly, they're toes. Who the fuck cares? Secondly, it grows there. Does anyone care? Does anyone care about the fucking hair on your toes, on my toes? No. And I know that there's like, obviously I understand the pressure that especially women, AFAB or not, go through about conform to societal standards. And we have more societal standards set for us. So I get like why I shaved. Like I'm not like I stopped shaving and now I am fucking awakened and everyone that shaves is an idiot and needs to stop. That's not what I'm saying. I do think it's beneficial if women didn't shave because honestly, I just don't like literally now that I don't understand why I would. Like I literally I think about it and I'm like, why though? I don't need to do that. Nobody needs to do that. So that's something I've been really into recently. And that's obviously not shaming anyone that does shave, because the world is very much not kind to women who even slightly break the societal standard of like what a woman is supposed to be. As we have fucking seen with the Olympics shit. That's so ridiculous. I'm so glad that Iman is suing people. But anyway, just letting y'all know, I'm not shaving anymore. And I'm kind of like so fucking into it. I will say I am still shaping my eyebrows. But that's just because I like playing with my shape of eyebrows and how they like look on my face. And yeah, I'm sure there is definitely still some societal forces at play in my brain, like making me do that. Yeah, but I'm still plucking my eyebrows. Okay, I will say that. I like it though. To me, it's kind of like, it's like dyeing hair. You know, like I don't look at someone dyeing their hair, natural or non-natural color, and think that they're like doing it to like fit a standard. Sometimes that's the truth, especially with like natural hair colors. And there's of course nuance with that from like non-white people feeling the pressure to conform to white standards. And that comes with hair. But I, in general, don't like, I kind of view changing things like that, like making your hair a different color or your eyebrows a different shape. I view that more as artistic than as a societal pressure. But there's obviously societal pressure in that. But that was my little random rambling on shaving. So the final thing that I will let you know that I've been super obsessed with, that I've also been kind of fighting myself about, is The Sims. I have been watching a lot of Sims content again, and I think I even mentioned this in a recent podcast or vlog or something. I said I've been getting the Sims 4 itch again. And my thing is that I cannot play The Sims 4. I can't play The Sims 4 because I already have so many things that I want to do that I'm actively working on, like drawings and videos and other shit. And also I know if I play The Sims, I'm going to want to buy more expansion packs. I want the Love Struck pack. I want the Love Struck pack. Okay, I want the Love Struck pack. I know. Stop trying to knock the camera. Okay, he wants breakfast. I'm gonna go because that's my final thing I've been obsessed with. Maybe I'll do like a once a month Sims live stream or like long video or something, because that's also the thing is if I get back into playing The Sims, I'm gonna like, it's gonna be a phase. It's a phase because I'm not just ADHD, it's already HD. So I can't just be a casual fan or doer of things. That doesn't exist to me. So I'm avoiding the Sims rabbit hole. I know I can only avoid it for so long because that game has had a grip on me since middle school. Not The Sims 4, but the Sims franchise. Sims 4 was not out when I was in middle school. That would be freakish. I'm gonna go because Nobu is attacking. He's biting the tripod. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I don't know if you liked it. I know it was rambly and it was different from the past few episodes of GraySpace because we've kind of changed the format with Nico joining, which I have loved, and I know that you guys have also liked. So let me know if you have a preference, if this rambling was enjoyable, or if there's something specific you want me to talk about. Let me know. But thank you, and I will catch you in either next video I post on YouTube or TikTok, or you can check out my art Instagram or my podcast on Spotify if you're not listening from there. If you are, thank you so much, and I will see you later, and goodbye.